Yo, what's up world? It's your tired looking boy Falochko here, about to make the video about Breaking Bad Season 1, Episode 4. And if you don't know, I'm going to teach all the slang they were saying in this episode. So, if you're not 16 or older, this might not be for you, but you're probably going to watch anyway. So, why waste time? Let's get to it. And what's awesome about this episode is that there was Hank. Hank was in this episode a lot, so you're going to learn some really funny things from Hank because he is my favorite character. Between him and Jesse, I don't know who speaks more slang, honestly, but they both have different kinds of slang, but they're so interesting because they're always using idioms and they're always using different phrasal verbs that most people don't know of. So let's get to learning it. And as usual, if you cannot read this right here, you will have to watch this later from your computer because I'll be using YouTube annotations because I make videos every day for numerous channels, so I don't have the time to properly edit. So if you're on your computer, it's no problem. So let's get to it. The name of the episode was Cancer Man. And let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. Now the first thing Hank said that was funny, he says, he was speaking to Gomez, he goes, "Your breath can knock a buzzard off of a shit wagon." Your breath can knock a buzzard off of a shit wagon. And that means your breath stinks. It smells very bad because if you're on a shit wagon, a wagon full of shit is, you know, kakashka. And if you're in a wagon full of shit, it means it smells bad. So if a buzzard falls off because of your breath, that means your breath smells worse than a bunch of shit. So basically, your breath can knock a buzzard off of a shit wagon means your breath stinks. It means it's very bad. Next one. Hank was speaking about a drug dealer that died. And he was like, yeah, you know, he was a cheese eater. A cheese eater is someone who worked for the cops, but they're usually undercover. So, like, the guy was a drug dealer who pretended to be, he was a cop who pretended to be a drug dealer, so he's a cheese eater because he's a rat. People who tell on other people are known as rats. Now, we don't really call cops rats because it's their job, but let's say if you're a drug dealer, and you get caught, a lot of times you won't go to jail if you tell on everyone else. And that person is known as a rat. And if you're an undercover cop and you're pretending to be a drug dealer, you're a rat as well. So, which brings us to our next one. Hank said, the last guy he ratted out. When you rat someone out, you tell them. That's the dog going crazy. When you rat someone out, you tell them. You basically say, this guy did this guy did that, so that guy can go to jail. You're basically a snitch when you're a rat. You give the cops information to arrest someone else. That is a rat. Okay, and they're going crazy in the backyard. Okay. Hank also said, you're burning the shit out of them. Now, we all know what burning is, but the fact that he had the shit out of them, we use that a lot. We add that on to a lot of things. So let me give you an example. Let's say if the dog kept barking and he wouldn't stop and it was bothering me, I can say he's annoying the shit out of me. And that means he's annoying me very much. Or for another example, let's say there was some girl I met in the street. She just kept giving me kisses like, mwah, mwah, mwah. She just went something like, damn, you're kissing the shit out of me. What are you doing? That's just a slang way to say you're doing something a lot, a whole lot. Or if someone's boring, if you hate this video, right now I'm boring the shit out of you because you don't like it. So I'm really boring you in that case, all right? So let's go to the next one. When Hank was watching, he was watching Walt cook. He was barbecuing stuff and he burned it. He goes, whoa, Emerald over here is going to need a new batch. Bam! Now, Emerald is he's probably the most famous chef in American culture. I think he is the most famous chef in America. His name's Emerald, and he's a really good cook. You know, he could cook anything. And his catchphrase is, bam, like that. So whenever he's making something, he'll go, bam. So basically, in America, if you call someone Emerald, it means one or two things. It means they can really, really cook, or you're being sarcastic and they can't cook. So I remember one girl I used to know, she couldn't cook very well, and I called her Emerald all the time. But she didn't know who Emerald was because she wasn't American. But I'm sure when she found out who Emerald was, she knew I was making fun of her. So in slang, Emerald can mean, you could call someone Emerald if they cook very well or very bad. When you're using it, when they're bad, you're being sarcastic. Okay. Walt asked Hank if he wanted another beer. And Hank says, does the Pope shit in his hat? Now, this means yes. This means yes in American slang. It means yes. Now, how it actually came about, I'm not sure, but it's from two other phrases that are supposed to be used. Like if if a tree fall in the woods, does someone hear it, or does a Pope wear a funny hat? But none of that's really important. The only thing you really need to know is if someone says, does the Pope shit in his hat? That means yes, absolutely, of course, okay? And next one. When Walt Jr. was talking about something he wanted, Hank mentioned something he wanted. He goes, he spoke about some famous lady. He goes, I'd like to get a tuggy from so-and-so, but it's not going to happen. What is a tuggy? T-U-G-G-Y? That is a hand job. That's when usually a girl puts her hand on a man's, penis, and she does this until the man is happy. That is a tuggy. Basically a tuggy, more commonly known as a hand job. Tuggy is very rare, but hand job is much more common than that. Okay, Skinny was talking, the skinny drug dealer guy. He was like, blah, 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 he was locked up. Locked up, you're going to hear that a lot in this. Locked up means in jail or in prison. You're basically not free because you're behind bars. That is locked up. And you know what locking is. Like if your door can open when you push it, it's not locked. If you can't open it, it's locked. Okay? So locked up in prison. Then Combo, the big drug dealer, he was like, yeah, I would like to take the edge off. When you take the edge off, you're basically relaxing. So a lot of people, we do different things in order to take the edge off. What I do to take a load off or take the edge off, I relax, I lay down, or maybe I'll play a video game, or maybe I'll make a cool video. That's how I take the edge off. You understand? That's how I relax and enjoy myself a little bit. Not too much craziness, just to, relax, chill, and relieve stress. That's taking the edge off. So whatever you like doing to relax, that's what you do to take the edge off, okay? All right, next one. When they basically asked him for some meth, but Jesse was like, he doesn't do it anymore. Combo was like, all right, that's cool, but I'll bounce. Bounce means to leave. Bounce is so common, very, very common. It started off as Ebonics, but now other people are starting to use it. So it's common slang. You could say, I'm a bounce, that means I will leave, or I should bounce, that means I should leave. So bounce means to leave, all right? It means to exit. Next one, we got a lot on this one. Next one is, this was, who is it? Oh, the businessman, the guy with the little Bluetooth headset, and he was like really like a jerk, he was a real jerk. He says, I'm hands down the best guy, when he was on the phone on his Bluetooth. When you're hands down something, when something is hands down, that means absolutely no competition. So for example, like when I go outside this neighborhood in Russia, I'm always the blackest guy outside. I'm always the most darkest skin because there's no other black people here. So I can say I'm hands down the blackest guy in this neighborhood. That means I'm absolutely the blackest guy because there's no competition in this area. It's only me. Or for another example, I can say I'm hands down the only American in this neighborhood because there's no other ones. And I know it. Everyone else knows that I'm the only one here. Or I can say, I'm absolutely hands down the only Falochko. Because if you search Falochko in Google, you will only see me. So when something is hands down, it is absolute. It's not up for guess. It is a fact, okay? Hands down. Next one. This was a businessman again. Ooh. He says, when he was on the phone, he says, roll her up in flour before you hit it. This is so rude that I don't want to get into detail, but he's basically saying she's really fat. When you tell someone, you better roll her up in flour before you hit that, that means roll her up in flour before you have sex with her because she's fat. I don't want to get into details too much, but it's nasty. It's basically, Kaiser, it's basically about finding her vagina. Kaiser, Jesus. Sorry, this is live TV. I'm not going to edit it. All right. Next one. This is from Combo again. He was like, yo, man, you're going to make fat stacks. What are fat stacks? Fat stacks is big wads of money. I don't have any stacks on me right now. But a stack is a big wad of money, like a bunch of it together. So it's basically a lot of money. That's a fat stack, okay? Next one is Jesse. I waited till the ball buster left. This is when he went over Walt's house. And Walt was like, what are you doing? Come over here. He said, I waited until the ball buster left. That means his wife. Now, not all wives are ball busters. A ball buster is specifically someone who bothers people a lot and who's in your face like, don't do this, don't do that. That's a ball buster. Someone who complains a lot. Someone who's very strict and doesn't really have too much fun or doesn't really break the rules, and someone who's always telling you what to do. That is a ball buster. So someone who's too serious and doesn't really let you break rules, that's a ball buster, okay? Someone who annoys you as well. Okay, next one. Last one. This is the businessman. When he was on his Bluetooth, at the end he goes, he's got crap on people. He's got crap on people. Now, when you have crap on someone or crap on people, that means you know hurtful information about them. Usually information that other people don't know. So let's say we all have crap on our best friends. Why? Because we know a lot more about our best friends than other people. So let's say if I have a best friend who peed himself one day, he was drunk at a party and he was really embarrassed. I got crap on him. If he ever tries to make fun of me, I can just tell him in front of other people. I can say, dude, didn't you pee yourself in front of a whole bunch of people at a party? Ha ha ha, and we're all laughing. That's me. I have crap on him because I know a lot of dirty stuff about him and his past, okay? So that's having crap on people. And I know this was a long episode, but that's basically it. So the last thing before I go is, of course, the song at the end of the episode is Durando Didn't I, okay? So download Durando Didn't I, or you can listen to it on Contacted, but I can't play it too loud because then I won't be able to use this video, alright? YouTube has strict rules. And that's basically it, people. Breaking Bad, next one coming up, episode 5, then episode 6, then episode 7. But after that, I'm not sure if I'm going to make more. It's all up to you guys, so we'll talk about it. Leave comments on YouTube, please, alright? Later.